No change at the top of League One as Hull City failed to get a win. And what's going on with Rochdale? Yet another 6-goal thriller. We'll take a look at it next. Folks, back once again with another prediction show. Today we're taking a look at Matchday. What is it? 23 out in 25? I don't know. Out in League One, but we'll get to that in just one second. If you're new to the channel, stop what you're doing, swallow what you're doing, and subscribe. Keep your bang up to date with all things League One related, Blackpool Rovers related. Whoa! Football here under Walruski. Yes, oh yes. I don't know what's gone wrong with Hull. Sorry, not wrong with Hull. What's gone wrong with Rochdale? But the past, I don't know how many games. 3, 7. 10 goals scored and 10 goals conceded in the past 3 games, and that even could stretch back a little bit, but I think it's 10. It's 13 goals conceded and 30 goals scored in the past 4 games. Absolute bedlam. They are the teams to watch. If you could watch anything, you would watch them, because they are just free for all right now. But anyway, we'll talk about that in a minute. Of course, I want a big shout out to the Patreon gang working behind the scenes. Thank you very much for supporting the channel. I do appreciate the loving, guys. And if anyone else is out there and would like to support the channel, check out that link down below, patreon.com/Roverseas. So let's get cracking and have a little look at it then, shall we? Of course, these are those games that took place just the other day on, I think we're starting on the Saturday the 16th of Jan. Sunderland go back to winning ways with a 3-0 win over AFC Wimbledon. Charlie White with a hat-trick to get themselves back into contention for at least the playoffs, if not more than that. Meanwhile, Accrington Stanley, they suffered a defeat to Gillingham. 1-0 win for Gillingham in the Carl Dempsey in the end to stop their fantastic charge up the table. So I actually remember the 2-1 win myself. Charlton, they got back to winning ways as well with the 1-0 win over Bristol Rovers. Liam Miller on the score sheet. Albie Morgan got himself sent off. But they had the points nailed on in the end anyway. But a 1-0 win for them. 2-0 for me. Not too shabby. Of course, Burton under Jimmy Floyd now. Won his first match, but they lost this one against Ipswich. Mark McGuinness on the score sheet on the 73rd minute to give Ipswich the 3 points. Actually, remember the 1-0 win for Floyd's boys. Meanwhile, Portsmouth also won with a 1-0 win over Fleetwood. John Marquise back on the score sheet again. Actually, remember the 2-1 win for Portsmouth. Not too shabby. Of course, the playoff chasing Hull 1-1 drew with Blackpool in the end. Malik Wicks on the score sheet. Jerry Yates for Blackpool in the point split right down. I mean, Reece Burke got himself sent off to make matters worse. Actually, remember the 2-0 win for Hull. Shame on me. Northampton against Oxford was postponed. We'll have to wait about that one. Peterborough against MK Dons was back to winning ways for Posh. 3-0 win. Justin Clark Harrison. Sammy Simidic get a couple of goals for himself in a 3-0 win. Actually, with a 2-0 win. Not too shabby. Meanwhile, Plymouth against Crewe ended up all square. 1-1 in the end. Actually, remember the Crewe win on this one. The goals from Luke Jepcott on the score sheet for Plymouth. Oliver Feeney as well for Crewe. Paducci Kamara get himself sent off for Plymouth as they could not get the 3 points. Meanwhile, Rochdale, we're going to talk about it already. 6-goal thriller. Goodness gracious me. Stephen Humphries with a couple of goals there. Jake Beasley as well. Carl Joseph with a goal. Callum Lang and Will Keane on the score sheet for Wigan as points were split by them. Jimmy McNulty got himself sent off for Rochdale to make matters worse for themselves. Meanwhile, Shrewsbury against Lincoln did not go ahead. Swindon against Doncaster, though, did. And it was a 2-1 win for Doncaster, of course, who look very, very good at the moment. Federico Gabaridi with a couple of goals there, with Hallam Hope getting a goal for Swindon. So, as you can see, I did 1, 2, 3... 5, what's that called? Official live, of course. What about you guys? We'll take a look at that in a minute. Of course, the leaderboard looks like this, or the table looks like this. Lincoln City are 3 points clear over Hull, over 1 point clear over Portsmouth as it stands. Doncaster, Peterborough, Charlton could also get themselves into the top 2 with a win and a little bit of lady luck. It is very, very messy though. If you look at it, Doncaster have 2 games in hand on the chase on the top 2 there. Charlton played 1 game more than everybody else. Accrington Stanley have got like 4 games in hand on Charlton, so it's anybody's guess right now as to who's going up. Burton, Swindon, Wigan and Wimbledon are going down. It looks pretty much nailed on for Burton at the moment. They've played the most games so far, 24. They've played 6 games more than Accrington Stanley. That's how bad it is. It's all messed up. Again, be sure to get your picks in us. Full Prediction League is the criteria this week. Not to 3 year and shitface gang 4 to 7. Like me, you're in the straight face gang 8+. You're in the top bins. Tom Stainer, well done to you. Well done indeed. Jamie Gold did bits. TFC Janko also did very well. Shepherd, well done, of course. OMS Esquivel did bits as well. Well done, well done. Harrison Crane, not too shabby. Ultra Omira had a shocker. Had an absolute shocker. Meanwhile, Olaji Ojo did bits as well. Well done, of course. Gaming Charlie, not too shabby. Jakob Splosh Vlogs did bits. Vincent Hong did poop. Joachim Jakobs also did very, very well. Well done, of course, to you. Jonathan Sandman, he did all right. He did actually. Russell Frost, well done, of course, to you. Irish Stringer did bits. Chris Hain did all right. Yannick Busser did bits. Tiago Stansky also did very, very well. Anna Reina did shite. Lambie did good. Okay, did okay. Nathan Eva also had a nightmare, but we were all right. Oliver Army, he also did very, very well as well. Take a look at the leaderboard. If your name's Alan Rana, don't even look at it. Don't even bloody look at it. But if your name is, of course, Tiago Stansky, Yannick Busser, SDFC, Jenko, Gaming Charlie, or Omar Esquivel, you know what to do. You got to take a bloody bow. Take a bloody bow. And let's respect these guys. You're 5 away kings at the moment for this week and this week alone. For the next few days, they are crowned king of the week. Predictors of the week out in League One. But of course, your overall leaderboard is, of course, one man only. Let's let his go. It goes without saying. A reputation of his own is Russell Frost. Look at that. 2 percentage points clear of his nearest and dearest. That is Joachim Jakobs and SDFC Jenko, not too far away either. Omar Esquivel also in that chasing pack, as is Gaming Charlie and Jonathan Sandham. There's 5 points clear at the moment. Percentage points, that is, of course. But anyway, let's take a look at it. Of course, he is your king. Bow down, given the respect. If the season wasn't end today, he would be walking around with a crown on his head. But of course, you've got to chase him down. Of course, still lots of games to be had of course, rest of the season, if it all goes ahead, of course, as planned. Here we go with a hokey dokey kind of a match day. This is a bit of a games that were scheduled to take place earlier in the season and a bit of other ones as well. Kicking it all off with Peterborough up against Charlton. Let's have a look at this one then, shall we? Now, they've played each other in the past. Oh, goodness gracious me. How many times? 21 times. 8 wins apiece and 5 draws. But the last 6, he's 4 for Peterborough, nothing for Charlton, and 2 draws. Last time out in Posh. I don't know what they call their stadium at the moment. I can't think. That was back in January 2019. It was a 0-0 draw, of course. Heading into this, Peterborough have actually won 12 of the last 14 matches at home, scoring at least 2 goals in 12 of the last 14 home matches as well. They're coming to this unbeaten in the last 6 at the very least. Charlton just won win in the past 6 games for them. The one was against Bristol Rovers just the other day. Look at the situation out in the bookies on this one then, shall we? What do we have? What do we have? Peterborough actually 11 to 10 for the double, 5 to 2 draw. 3 to 1 is your Charlton. Of course, Charlton coming to this in 6th and for them. They could actually go as high as 2nd in the table. Peterborough in 5th, and also they could go 2nd in the table with a big fat W if they were to be victorious in the end. What do I think on this one? I think I've gone with the home one on this one with a 3-2 win. Goals galore in it though. 5-goal thriller going in favour of Posh. Next up we have Lincoln City taking on Gillingham. Of course, now they play each other if it goes ahead. How many times they played each other in the past? Goodness gracious me. They played 6 times, just 3 wins for Lincoln, 2 for Gillingham, and 1 draw, of course. But the last time out in Lincoln was a 0-0 draw back in February 2020. Goodness gracious me. The only statistic on that was Teo Aiden get himself sent off in the dying minute of the game. Gillingham are actually clean sheet in the last 3 matches against Lincoln City in all competitions. They come into this, though, just 1 win the past 4 games. That one was against Accrington. On the flip side, Lincoln coming into this unbeaten in at least 5 games, winning 4 of them and drawing 1. That 1 draw was against Posh at home as well. Look at the situation out with the bookies on this one then, shall we? We have Lincoln 2013 on for the W, 14 to 5 draw. 4 to 1 is your Gillingham, of course. Gillingham coming into this in 12th at the moment. They win for them. They could actually go as high as 10th in the league. Of course, Lincoln City are top and will draw or more, and they'll be top of the table no matter what. I've gone with Lincoln on this one to take the 3 points with a 2-0 win at home. Next up, the nearest and dearest, though, is Hull City up against Accrington Stanley. They played each other in the past 2 times. It's 1 win for Hull and 1 draw as well. Last time out, in fact, the last time they played each other, according to my knowledge, was back in 2015. It was a 2-2 draw in the Carabao Cup, and Hull came through on top on penalties. Goals with Schubert Akpom and Greg Lua as well, with Matt Crooks, Terry Gornell getting the score sheet for Accrington. Of course, that was 5 years ago. Heading into this, Accrington have actually scored at least 2 goals in their last 5 away matches. They're coming to this just 1 defeat the past 6 games. That's Hull. That 1 defeat was against Portsmouth all the way back in the middle of December. On the flip side, back-to-back defeats for Accrington, losing to Lincoln City in the Papa John's Trophy and also losing to Gillingham, of course. So, yeah, they need to get themselves back into the winning track. Of course, look at the situation on the bookies on this one. We have 65 on for Hull, 5-2 is draw, 10-3 is your Accrington. Stanley coming us in 9th spot at the moment, and win for them. They could go as high as 4th in the table. A win for Hull. They could go. Oh yeah! That's with a big fat W and a little bit of lady luck going their way. I think Hull will get this one with a 2. No, they won't. No, I've gone with a draw. I've gone with a surprise draw here with a 2-2 draw. The Accrington Stanley getting back to scrappy dappy doo standards and of course get something out of it. So that was one I must have thought about a while ago. Meanwhile, Blackpool take it on. Of course, Northampton Town played each other in the past. 13 times, 7 wins for Blackpool, 4 for Northampton, and 2 draws. But the last 6, he's 3 for Blackpool, 2 for Northampton, and 1 draw. Last time out at Bloomfield Rovers back in April 2018. Armand Jungale on the score sheet with Sean Langstaff and Jimmy Ryan on the score sheet for Blackpool. Of course, heading into this, Blackpool actually won the last 3 home matches against Northampton and scored at least 2 goals in those last 3 home matches against Northampton. Just one win the past 5 games for Blackpool. That one was against West Brom in the FA Cup. On the flip side, just one win the past 5 games for Northampton. That was against Gillingham at the last game of 2020. Look at the situation out. Oh my goodness, the situation out in the bookies. I've just closed the bloody my bookies tab, so I'm going to have to go in there and dig that son of a gun out. So of course, heading into this, Blackpool actually 7-4 on for the W, 3-1 is your draw. 92 is your Northampton. Northampton coming this. It's just above the relegation zones, and a win for them, they could actually go as high as 16th in the table. Blackpool are actually in 14th at the moment, and a win for them, they could go 11th in the league, above Fleetwood Town if they were to get victorious. I think they'll get the win with the one they win over Northampton at Bloomfield Road. Next up, we have Crewe up against Bristol Rovers. Of course, these two sides play each other. How many times? Bristol Rovers, I believe. Oh yeah, it's 9 times, 3 wins for Crewe, 1 win for Bristol Rovers, and 5 draws. Of course, but the last time out at Crewe was a 3-0 win for Crewe. That's back in League 2 in 2012. AJ Litch-Smith on the score sheet, Kelvin Mellor and Harry Davis on the score sheet for Crewe in a 3-0 win way back when, of course. Crewe have actually drawn the last 3 matches in a league on both home and away, and also undefeated in the last 6 against Bristol Rovers in all competitions. They come into this though without a win in 3, of course, drawing those past 3 games. On the flip side, 3 defeats on the spin for Bristol Rovers, losing to Sheffield United, Wimbledon and Charlton. Of course, Sheffield United in the FA Cup. Look at the situation out in the bookies on this one then, shall we? Crewe are 6-4 on for the W, 40-5 draw. Bristol Rovers actually 4-1 for the win. They come to this just above the drop zone, and win for them in 19th. They could go as high as 16th in the table. Crewe are in 10th, and win for them, they could go as 7th in the league. They've played a lot of games though, so I don't know if they're going to be in the discussion realistically for the win. But I've gone with the Crewe win on this one, with a 2-1 win in the end. Kicking off further, we have Doncaster Rovers up against Rochdale. Of course, free scoring Rochdale. They played each other in the past, according to Mar Brain, 18 times, 9 wins for Doncaster, 4 for Rochdale, and 5 draws. Of course, but the last 6, see 3 for Doncaster, 1 for Rochdale, and 2 draws. Last time out at the Keep Moat, what's up here, lads? Was back in February 2020. It was a 1-1 draw. John Taylor on the score sheet for Doncaster, or rather Rathbone on the score sheet for Rochdale. Heading into this, though, Rochdale actually conceded at least 3 goals in the last 4 matches. Also, scoring at least 3 goals in the last 3 matches as well. Rochdale have actually drawn the last 3. They come into this, looking, what did I say? 6, 10 goals. I thought there was more than that. It must have been more than that. But really, in the past 5 games, they've conceded, they've scored 5, 8, 10, 12, 15 goals. 15 goals scored and 15 goals conceded at the past 5 games. But heading into this, of course, Doncaster looking very, very good, winning 4 of the past 5 games. The only hiccup was a loss to Shrewsbury. Of course, the bookies will probably go with Doncaster on this one. 6-4 on for the victory, 40-5 is draw. 4-1 is your Rochdale. Rochdale coming to this in 18th spot on the moment, but a win for them, they could go 16th. Doncaster are 4th for the moment, and with a win for them, they could go 2nd in the table. I've gone with Doncaster on this one to end the Rochdale goal scoring free, and of course, put Doncaster back in contention for top 2. Next up, MK Dons taking on Fleetwood Town. Played each other in the past 7 times, 4 wins for MK Dons, 2 wins for Fleetwood, and 1 draw, of course. But the last 6 was 3 for Milton Keynes, 2 for Fleetwood, and 1 draw. Last time out at the stadium, MK was back in 11th, 2017. Chuck Zaniki on the score sheet for MK Dons, of course. Heading into this, MK Dons, what are we looking at here? MK Dons without a win in 5, of course. Back-to-back defeats, losing to Hull in the Papa John's Trophy, and also losing to Portsmouth. Of course, just 1 win in the past 3 games for MK Dons. That one was against Northampton, losing to Burnley, and of course losing to Peterborough in, of course, a sandwich sort of thing. Look at the situation out on the bookies on this one. 75 for MK Dons, 12-5 is your, and 95 is your Fleetwood Town. Fleetwood Town coming in as 11th, and win for them. They could actually go above Crewe into 10th. MK Dons are in 16th for the moment, but a win for them, they could go as high as 13th in the table. I've gone with a draw on this one, new in the end, point split right down the middle, and I think Fleetwood will be happier than MK Dons. Next up, of course, Portsmouth, who are in 3rd, up against AFC Wimbledon. They played each other in the past. 13 times, 7 wins for Pompey, 5 for Wimbledon, and 1 draw, of course. But the last 6, he's 4 for Pompey, 2 for Wimbledon, and no draws. Last time out at Fratton Park was a 2-1 win for Portsmouth back in 11th of Jan 2020. Marcus Hannes on the score sheet with John Marquise as well. Joe Piggott the one to go for Wimbledon. Scott Wagstaff got himself sent off. Portsmouth actually kept clean sheet in the last 5 matches in League 1, and also undefeated in 26 of the last 29 matches at home. They come into this just 1 win and 2 wins in the past 5 games for Pompey, losing to Bristol City and also losing to Peterborough in respective cup competitions. On the flip side, Wimbledon just won in the past 5 games. One win was against Bristol Rovers, of course, in the Papa John's Trophy. Look at the situation out in the bookies on this one. What do we have on this? Portsmouth are actually 2-1 on for the victory. 3-1 is your draw. 11-2 is your Wimbledon. Wimbledon coming into this in the relegation spots, but a win for them. They could actually go as high as 17th in the table. Portsmouth are in third, and win for them. They could actually go second in the table. Oh yes, with a big fat W in the end. I've gone with a 2-0 win myself for Pompey to get that win, and again to put them into the hunt for top 2. Wrapping it up. It'll be Sunderland up against Plymouth. Of course, they played each other in the past 29 times. 17 wins for Sunderland, 8 wins for Plymouth, and 4 draws, of course. But the last 64 for Sunderland, 2 for Plymouth, and no draws. Last time out at the stadium, that was back in March 2019, was a 2-0 win for Sunderland. Lee Catterall, of course, are no longer playing football now. George Honeyman as well for Sunderland. Heading into this, Sunderland have actually clean sheet in the last 3 matches against Plymouth in all comps. They also scored at least 2 goals in the last 5 matches against Plymouth in all competitions as well. They also won those last 3 against Plymouth. They're coming into this unbeaten in the last 5 games, picking up 2 wins, back-to-back wins for Sunderland. On the flip side, just one defeat by 6-4. Plymouth, that one defeat was against Oxford in a 5-goal thriller a couple of games back. Meanwhile, heading into this, Sunderland 2-1 on for the victory. 10-3 is your draw. 5-1 is your Plymouth. Plymouth coming into this in 15th spot. And win for them, they could go as high as 11th. Sunderland are in 8th, and win for them, they could go as high as 4th. And that is back in the playoff zone, boys and girls. I've gone with the Sunderland here, 3-0 win in the end. And if I'm right, which I believe I hope so, this is what the table will look like at the end of it. Licker City will still be top of the pops with a 4 points cushion over Portsmouth. They're in second. Holland to third. Doncaster, Peterborough, and Sunderland make up your top 6. Burton, Swindon, Wigan, and Wimbledon going down as of right now. But again, like I said, it is a very, very messy looking division with a lot of games still to be played all over the place. Alles über the Platz, they say in Germany. Of course, get your picks in us and only fall up additionally, and make sure you bang the subscribe button to keep you bang up to date with all things Blackburn Rovers related, League One related, whoa, football related. We're going to know here under Ruski. That's all I've got for you today, folks. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, smash that thumbs up. If you are new, smash your subscribe, of course, and also check out the links down below: Twitter, Twitch, Facebook, and all that kind of jazz. And if you want to become the latest member of the Patreon gang, there is a link down below there, patreon.com/Roverseas. But until then, though, hopefully you enjoyed this video. I'll see you all very soon. Until then, mask up, be safe, and of course, happy predicting.